Well, hello, Hearth and Homies. Welcome to this compilation of Mr. and Mrs. North. This is Volume 3. Now, these characters were created by Francis and Richard Lockridge. They were featured in multiple books, a Broadway play, a motion picture, on television, and of course, on the radio. Now, this show ran from 1942 to 1954, and it was on NBC and CBS, and starred Alice Frost and Joseph Curtin. Now, in 1946, this show won the Best Radio Drama Edgar Award from the Mystery Writers of America. Now, it tied with The Adventures of Ellery Queen for that award. Of course, this was a popular radio show about a married couple who also work as private detectives. The stories can range from just being silly to getting really involved. So overall, it's just a really fun show, and I hope you'll enjoy it with us this evening. Now, as always, we've taken this old-time radio show and added some beautiful scenery to it to give you a unique old-time radio viewing experience, the OTR Visual Radio. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And as always, thanks for tuning in.
Put that gun away, Mr. Hopper.
Get in the car, do you hear?
We'd better do as he says, Jerry.
Okay.
Not in the back seat, in front. You're going to drive. And if you don't, I'll kill you. I'll kill you both.
Mr. and Mrs. North, starring Alice Frost and Joseph Curtin. Listen as Pam and Jerry solve the mystery Dead Giveaway. The theory that you can judge people by the kind of friends they have is not necessarily true. Take Pam and Jerry North, for example. They have a friend named Clara Kendall. She's not a close friend, true, but she's a friend nevertheless. So what kind of people would you say Pam and Jerry were if you judged them by dowdy, middle-aged Mrs. Kendall as she stands, white-faced and trembling, talking on the telephone?
But, my dear Mrs. Kendall...
Don't my dear Mrs. Kendall me, Dr. Cowles. Do you realize that your incompetence has endangered my life?
Nonsense, Mrs. Kendall. Your brother...
My brother is insane.
Mrs. Kendall.
Dangerously insane. That's why I placed him in your sanitarium, Dr. Cowles.
No, Mrs. Kendall, that is not why...
I'm not going to discuss it with you any further, Doctor. Now, are you going to notify the police of Charles' escape, or aren't you?
But it's not necessary to notify...
Then I will.
Mrs. Kendall, will you please...
The fool. Philip?
In here, Clara. What was that all about on the telephone?
It was Dr. Cowles.
Cowles? Oh, yes, the sanitarium fellow. What did he want? Not more money, I hope.
Philip, Charles has escaped.
Oh, no. Not again. You know, I don't think Charles likes it there.
Philip.
I can't say I blame him. The Middle West never appealed to me as a place
This is no joking matter, Philip. Charles has been gone 2 days. He could be here in New York by now.
Oh, why in the world would he want to come here?
He hates me.
Well, what do you expect? You have the poor old devil declared mentally irresponsible. You have him committed to an institution. Then you get control of his money. Do you think he should love you for that? My goodness, Clara, you can't have everything.
Stop it, Philip, stop it. Charles is dangerous, you know that.
I know nothing of the kind. The worst thing I know about him is that he slobbers when he eats.
If he ever gets the chance, he'll kill me.
Oh, Clara.
He will.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Where's my coat?
Are you going out?
Yes.
Where?
Just out. I have an appointment.
A business appointment?
Oh, don't be bitter, dear.
Please, Philip, don't go. Don't leave me here in this apartment alone with Charles.
For heaven's sake, Clara, stop being so silly. Charles isn't within 1,000 miles of here. They'll find him just the way they did before, curled up, sound asleep in a haystack not 2 miles from the sanitarium. Now, look, I'm already late,
What time will you be home?
I'm not sure. Late, probably.
Will you be here for dinner?
No,
Philip.
Oh, let go of me. Clara, let go.
Please, Philip, stay home with me. I'm frightened.
Let go. Now, will you please...
I know where you're going, Philip. I know. You're going to see her.
Her? Who?
Vivian.
Vivian?
Yes, Vivian. Vivian Ames. You didn't think I knew, did you? But I do. I know all about...
You don't know anything because there's nothing to know.
You're a liar.
And you're a silly, suspicious, neurotic old woman. Why, you...
Get out! Do you hear me? Get out!
Yes, I hear you.
Then pack your things.
You keep them, Clara. You paid for them.
Don't think you're ever going to come crawling back.
Oh, don't worry, Clara. You haven't got that much money.
Hello?
Mrs. Kendall?
Yes?
This is Pam North, Mrs. Kendall. I wonder if I could drop by and talk to you for a few minutes.
Oh, what about?
About serving with me on the finance committee of the Women's Club. I'd like to make it around 4 o'clock, if that's convenient for you.
Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. North, but I couldn't see you today.
Mrs. Kendall?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. North, but I thought I heard something. What time did you say you wanted to see me?
Well, about 4 o'clock. But if you can't...
No. 4 o'clock will be fine. I'd love to see you.
Oh, that's awfully nice of you. Bye.
Goodbye. I didn't hear anything. I couldn't have. I just I did. Someone came in. Philip, he came back to... Philip? Is that you, Philip?
No, Clara. It isn't Philip.
Charles!
Hello, Clara.
Charles!
Go on, Philip. Then what happened?
Oh, nothing, darling. Clara told me to get out. I took her at her word. Here I am.
And you didn't admit anything about us?
Oh, of course not, Vivian.
Well, then it probably isn't as serious as you think. I wouldn't be surprised if Clara's calling all over town right now, frantically trying to find you to ask you to come home.
Well, it won't do her any good if she is. I'm through.
Now, Philip.
I am, Vivian. I mean it. For the first time in 4 years, I feel like a young man.
You are young, darling.
But you don't feel young, married to a woman nearly 15 years older than you are. When she pays your way, you don't even feel like a man, young or old.
All right, Philip. So you're through. Now what happens?
When Clara gets a divorce, we'll be married.
On what?
I'll get a job.
Doing what?
Well, you sound like you think I can't get one.
Oh, of course you can. You'll have to. But what kind of a job will it be? And how much will it pay?
Well, how should I know?
Then I'll tell you, Philip. Based on your business experience so far, you could make $50 a week, if you're lucky. At that rate, we could just about pay the rent on this apartment. Of course, we couldn't eat, buy any clothes.
We wouldn't have to live like this.
But I like living like this.
And if I can't pay for it any longer, you'll find someone who can. I thought you loved me.
I did. When you were a man.
A man?
Yes, Philip. That's what Clara's money made you. A smart, attractive, self-assured man. I don't care what you felt like. That's what you were. Well, now look at you. Without her money, you're nothing but a frightened little boy. I'm sorry, Philip, but there's no use kidding ourselves.
No. No, I guess not.
Now, look, darling. Go back to Clara. You can. She'll take you back. I know she will. And then we can go on. All right, Philip. But you're being a fool.
Maybe.
Where are you going, Philip?
I'll be back.
Yeah, that's right, ma'am. The Kendalls are in 318.
Oh, thank you.
Here we are. Turn to your left, third apartment on your right.
Thank you very much. 314, 316, 38. Well, that's funny. Door's open. She must be in. Mrs. Kendall? Where in the world could she be? Anybody home? Mrs. Kendall, are you here? Mrs. Kendall? Mrs. Kendall! Mrs. Kendall!
Hello?
Jerry!
Oh, hello, Hello, darling.
Oh, Jerry, something horrible has happened.
Pam, what's the matter?
Call Bill Wagon and get over here as soon as you can.
Over where?
Clara Kendall's apartment.
What is it? What's happened?
Clara Kendall's been murdered.
What?
Strangled, I think. I had an appointment with her, and when I got here, the door was open. I walked in and I saw her lying on the...
Pam. Pam.
Jerry. Darling, I just heard a noise. There's someone else in the apartment. There's someone... No!
Pam!
Sure, I got a pass key to the Kendall apartment, but that don't mean I can let in just any Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Can't you get it through your head that Mrs. Kendall's been murdered?
That's what you say.
And something's happened to my wife.
Here's the third floor.
Come on.
Look, mister, I think we ought to call the police.
Oh, but I told you I've already called them. Or my secretary did. They'll be here in a minute. Now, are you going to unlock the Kendall apartment, or do I have to take the key?
Okay, buddy, okay. Let's go. This is the key. Here's 318.
Open it.
Okay.
Hurry, will you?
I'm hurrying. There.
Pam!
There's the telephone.
Pam!
Hung up just like it should be.
Well, come on, let's look and... Hold it.
What?
Listen.
I don't hear
Quiet.
any.
That's Pam. Pam!
Sounds like she's in that hall closet. The key's in the door.
Pam, darling. Are you all right?
Just hold me for a minute, darling. Darling. Oh, darling. I've never been so frightened in my life.
What happened, sweetheart?
I was talking to you. I heard something. I started to turn around. Someone grabbed me from behind and dragged me into this closet and locked me in.
Did you see who it was?
No. It was a man, that's all I know.
Where's Clara Kendall?
In the living room.
Well, let's go in and...
Jerry!
Bill!
Hey, what's all the excitement?
Didn't Jerry tell you on the phone?
I had Miss Brown call while I got over here, Pam.
And all Miss Brown said was for me to get to this address right away.
There's been a murder, Bill.
It's Clara Kendall, a friend of mine in the woman's club. She's been strangled, Bill. I found her body. It's on the couch in the living room.
Well, let's have a look.
Right. This way. There she is, on the couch over by the window. Bill. Jerry. She's gone. What are you standing there looking at me like that for? You can see for yourself she's gone. We've got to do something.
Is this the couch she was on, Pam?
Yes.
You're sure?
Of course I'm sure. You don't think I imagined it, do you?
Oh, of course not, dear.
Well, you could at least say it with a little more conviction, Jerry. Clara Kendall is dead, I tell you. And I didn't imagine it any more than I imagined that someone grabbed me and locked me in that closet.
Well, let's have a look around the apartment.
The telephone.
I'll get it. Hello?
Philip?
No, this is the police.
Police?
Who's calling?
I'm Vivian Ames, a friend of the Kendalls. What are the police doing there? What's happened?
Well, we're not sure, Miss Ames, but we think Mrs. Kendall's been murdered.
What? Oh, you're joking. Clara can't be dead.
Oh, how do you know?
Because she just walked out of my apartment not 5 minutes ago.
That's all I can tell you, Lieutenant.
What time did Mrs. Kendall arrive here at your apartment, Miss Ames?
About 4.
That's impossible.
Well, it might have been a little after 4.
It's still impossible.
Pam, dear.
Well, it is, Jerry. At 4 o'clock, Clara Kendall was lying on that...
No. Take it easy, Pam.
Oh, that must be Philip.
Mrs. Kendall's husband?
Yes, I took the liberty of calling him at his hotel after you said you were coming to talk to me. I hope I didn't do wrong.
No, not at all.
Oh, excuse me.
Bill, that woman's lying.
Please.
She is, Jerry. She must be.
Let me handle this, Pam.
Philip, this is Lieutenant Wiegand.
Hello, Mr. Kendall.
And you know Mr. and Mrs. North.
Hello, Bill.
Yes, hello, Pam. Jerry?
Now, what's this wild story Vivian gave me on the telephone?
Well, Pam says she saw your wife lying in the living room of your apartment, strangled to death. Now, Miss Ames says your wife was here in her apartment at about the same time Pam says she saw the body.
Well, obviously, someone is mistaken.
Or lying.
Well, why should I lie about a thing like
Just a moment, Miss Ames.
I assume you searched the apartment, Lieutenant?
Of course.
But someone could have carried the body out of the apartment out the back way while I was locked in the closet.
Locked in the closet?
Just after Pam saw Clara's body, some man grabbed her and locked her in the closet.
Mr. Kendall, Miss Ames says she called you at your hotel. Now, does that mean that you and your wife had a...
Clara and I had a quarrel, that's all.
Oh, must have been rather a serious quarrel if you moved out.
Oh, but it wasn't, not really. That's why Clara came to see me. To see if I knew where Philip was so she could get in touch with him and make up.
And you told her where Mr. Kendall was?
Yes. She said she'd call him right after she kept her date with her brother.
What? Her brother?
Well, that's where she was going when she left here.
Good Lord.
What's the matter, Phil?
Clara must be out of her mind.
To see your brother?
Yes. You don't understand, Lieutenant. Charles Harper's been in a private sanitarium, a mental institution in the Midwest. We just found out today that he'd gone away from the place 2 days ago.
Is he dangerous?
Oh, he is to Clara. She's the one who had to have him committed. He hates her for it. Once he threatened to kill her.
Then why should she make a date to meet him?
I don't know. We've got to do something.
Yeah, well, there's only one thing we can do. I'm going to headquarters and get out a bulletin on Harper. Jerry, you and Pam take Kendall to his apartment.
Okay, Bill.
And you can give me a description of your brother-in-law on the way downstairs, Kendall.
All right, Lieutenant.
I'm coming with you, Philip.
Oh, come on, Pam. Hey, Pam, what's the matter?
Darling, this is crazy. Everyone's acting as though Clara Kendall was still alive.
Oh, sweetheart, isn't it barely possible that you were mistaken?
Jerry, you mean you're taking Vivian Ames' word against mine, even though you've got proof that she's lying?
What proof have I got?
What proof? For heaven's sake, didn't you hear me when I told you she was?
You can pull up right in front, Jerry.
Right.
Clara's got to be home. She has to be.
Please, Philip, you mustn't get your...
But if anything happened to her, I'll never... It's her car.
What?
It's her car. The one right ahead of us. It's Clara's.
You sure?
It's just like hers.
Well, let's have a look.
And maybe Clara's home. Maybe she's staying.
And maybe she didn't drive her car today.
But she did. She told me she was driving.
It is Clara's. That's her license number.
Yes, it's Clara's. She's in it.
What do you mean, Jerry?
Look on the floor of the back seat.
Oh, Jerry.
Clara. Clara!
No, Phil, don't touch her. She's dead. Close the door.
Clara?
Now, look, Philip. Go up to your apartment and call Bill Wygant. Pam and I'll wait here.
Oh, all right, Jerry.
You'd better go with him, Miss Ames.
Oh, yes.
You see, darling, I was right. Clara was killed up in the apartment and then carried down to the car while I was locked in the closet.
That still doesn't jibe with Vivian Ames' story about seeing Clara after you found her.
I don't care. Vivian Ames...
Hold it, dear. We've got company.
Excuse me, but you're in my way. I want to get in my car.
Your car?
Yes, mine. Mine. It's my car. Everything she owns is mine.
She?
This car, her apartment, everything. It all belongs to me. She stole it from me. My money. She stole it. Now, get out of my way.
I'm sorry, Mr. Harper, but...
How do you know my name?
Well, we don't, but...
You call me Mr. Harper. Why do you call me Mr. Harper if you don't know who I am?
Now, look,
You're from there, aren't you?
There?
That place. The sanitarium. That's where you're from. Yeah, she lied to me. She said I didn't have to go back, and I won't. I won't.
Take it easy, Mr. Harper. You
Look
don't...
out, Jerry.
I won't.
Put that gun away, Mr. Harper. We're not going...
Be careful, darling.
Get in the car.
Now, wait a minute.
Get in.
We better do as he says,
No,
Jerry.
not in there. In the front seat. You're going to drive. And if you don't, I'll kill you.
All right, Mr. Kendall. All right, I'll be right over.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
I mixed you a drink, darling. Here.
I don't want it.
Now, don't be nervous, darling.
I'm not nervous.
Oh, but you are.
All right, so I'm nervous. Why shouldn't I be? We took a big chance moving Clara's body down to the car, running the risk of Pam North spotting me as the guy who locked her in the closet.
We had to give you an alibi for the time Clara was killed, didn't we?
I'm not sure we have. Pam knows you're lying about seeing Clara at 4 o'clock. And Jerry and Lieutenant Wygant probably know it, too.
And they don't know anything they can prove. Unless, of course, you really didn't see Clara's brother leave the apartment this afternoon. Did you see him, Charles?
I told you I did.
You told me a lot of things, but...
But what?
Oh, for heaven's sake, Philip. You know you can trust me, so why don't you be honest? Why don't you admit you killed Clara?
Don't you ever say that again, Vivian. You understand? Don't you ever say that again.
Jerry, we're going much too fast. Please, slow down.
Don't talk to me, darling. You know as well as I do that the man who's really driving this car is in the back seat. And every time I try to slow down a little...
Faster, drive faster.
You see?
Please, Mr. Harper, we're going too fast already.
This road is like a sheet of glass, Hopper.
Do as I say, go faster.
If we ever start to skid, Hopper, we'll all...
Jerry, darling, we're skidding.
You're telling me?
Oh, stop, Jerry, stop.
I can't stop at this height.
Jerry, we're going to crash. Look out, Pam. Jerry.
Pam, darling, are you all right?
I think so. How about you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Here, let me help you out. Easy now.
I'll be all right as soon as I stop shaking.
Hopper.
Darling, you may be hurt pretty badly.
Look, there's a gasoline station up ahead. Get up there and get some help and then call Bill. I'll stay here with Hopper.
Let us through, please. Now, come on, folks. Stand back. Let us through.
Here we are, Bill.
Over this way, Miss Ames. Come on, Kendall. Well, you've got yourself quite a crowd here, haven't you?
Yeah, everybody loves an accident, Bill.
Where's Harper?
On his way to the hospital.
How badly was he hurt?
He'll live.
I hope so. At least long enough to pay for Clara's murder.
But he says he didn't kill Clara.
Did you talk to him?
Yes, Bill, while we were waiting for the ambulance. Harper says he saw Clara just after Philip left the apartment at 2 this afternoon. She told him she wouldn't have him sent back to the sanitarium. And if he came back about 5, she'd have a certified check for the money she took from him.
He's lying. He killed Clara because he's the only one who could have killed her after she left my apartment.
Miss Ames, if you saw Clara Kendall after 4 o'clock this afternoon, why did you call her apartment?
You mean when I answered the phone, Pam?
Yes.
Called to talk to Philip.
But you told us before that you knew Philip had quarreled with Clara and gone to a hotel.
Well,
So you knew Philip wouldn't be at the apartment, didn't you?
Well, Miss Ames?
All right, Lieutenant. Mrs. North wins. I didn't see Clara this afternoon. I just said I did to protect Philip.
Philip?
Well, he went back to the apartment at 3 o'clock and found Clara dead. He telephoned me. I went over. Charles Harper had killed her. We knew that, but Philip didn't have an alibi for the time she was killed, and well, after that stupid fight he and Clara had, I was afraid the police would think he was the murderer. So the only thing to do was move Clara's body and try to make it look as though she'd been killed later.
So you're the man who grabbed Pam and locked her in the closet, huh, Phil?
Yes.
We knew she was going to be there at 4, and well, we thought we could get Clara's body out before then, but we couldn't. That's why I had to lie about Clara being my apartment.
How did you know I was going to see Clara at 4, Miss Ames?
Well, Philip told me.
Well, then Charles Harper didn't kill Clara.
How do you figure that, Pam?
Because Clara would have been dead when Philip went back to the apartment at 3 o'clock.
She was.
Oh, no, she wasn't. She was alive. Alive enough to tell you that I was going to be there at 4. She's the only one who could have told you that.
Oh, you fool. Why didn't you tell me Clara had...
Shut up. Shut up! It's all your fault. I didn't want Clara's money, but you did. You did.
Come on, Kendall. And you too, Miss Ames.
What are you arresting me for?
You'll probably be charged with being an accessory after the fact. And that's a mighty polite name for your kind of woman.
Mr. North speaking.
Oh, hello, Jerry.
Oh, hello, dear.
Darling, on your way home this evening, will you stop in a stationery store and buy me a bookkeeping ledger?
A bookkeeping ledger? What for?
I was re-elected chairman of the finance committee of the Women's Club, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're starting a new fiscal year, so I'll need a new ledger and a bottle of black ink.
Black ink, huh? Well, it sounds like you did a good job of managing the club's finances.
And the other thing I want...
I wish you could do as well with our personal finances, dear. We've never wound up in the black at the end of the year.
Jerry, dear, will you let me tell you the other thing I'll need?
How do you account for it, Pam? Why can't you manage our money just as well as you manage your clubs?
But I do, darling.
What do you mean?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'll need a bottle of red ink, too.
This is the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Beat it, you two. I don't talk to strangers.
Well, we're not strangers, exactly. I'm Mrs. North.
Beat it, I said.
Well, you don't have to get tough about it.
Go on, scram, and don't come back. The only place I want to see you is in the morgue.
Mr. and Mrs. North, starring Joseph Curtin and Alice Frost. Listen as Pam and Jerry solve the mystery, The Death Trap. A few miles uptown from where the Norths live, in the cellar of an old brownstone apartment house, a woman sits at a table playing solitaire. Her hair is blonde, platinum blonde, and her eyes are sultry. Behind her, an anxious young man is nervously pacing the floor.
You're going to wear out those shoes, Benny.
Won't be the first time. What the devil is keeping Nick?
Well, give him a chance, will you? He's got to check the whole setup before we can lift a finger.
What for? Don't he think I know how to case a job?
Look, Beanie, Nick don't trust anybody when it comes to a kidnapping job. It's the way he works. Careful.
You like it, I suppose.
I like staying out of jail. I like a meal ticket that's nice and steady, too.
What's the matter with me? I'd be the best meal ticket in the world if you'd only let me. I'd give you anything you wanted, Flo, anything.
Sure. For a while you would.
For as long as you wanted me.
Ah, stop it, kid. You're dreaming.
And what are you doing?
Using my head. When you get to be my age, you don't run off with little boys that fall in love with you. You stick to somebody solid. Somebody that's been around for a long time. Like Nick.
And how long are we going to go on like this? Making love behind his back. Aching to be alone together and having him put his fat paws all over you.
Watch. He's back. That you, Nick?
Yeah, it's me.
Well, how'd you make out? Set up okay?
Looks pretty good. Looks like you had it figured right about the old man's money, too.
Well, what kept you? He was getting worried.
About me or your share of the setup?
Oh, don't say that, sweetie. You know you're the only guy in the world for me.
Sure, I know. Got a kiss for Papa?
Well, let's not stand around smooching all night. Let's get the car and put this show on the road.
Car's outside, Beanie. We'll roll in 20 minutes. What are you carrying?
Automatics. One upstairs and one on the hip.
Ditch him.
Huh?
Ditch him, I said, and take the silencer. I don't think we'll have any trouble with this old guy, but if we have to shoot him, we better shoot him quiet.
Oh, I'm glad we decided to go to the early movie, Pam. I don't think I could have sat through the late one.
Well, if I'd known you were so tired, dear, we wouldn't have gone to the movies at all. Have you got your keys?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. North.
What's that?
Oh, it's Mrs. Rowland, dear, across the hall.
Mr. North, did you happen to see my husband when you came upstairs just now?
Why, no, Mrs. Rowland. Is he outside?
Well, I don't know where he is, Mr. North. He said he was just going down to put the car in the garage, but he left here almost an hour ago.
Well, maybe he stopped off someplace on the way back.
Oh, no, I'm sure he wouldn't do that. You know, he hasn't been well lately, and with all the work we've been doing these past few weeks, selling things and making arrangements to live down in Florida, he's been getting to bed very early.
Oh, I'm sure nothing's happened to him, Mrs. Rowland. It's only a few blocks from the garage. Oh. There. I'll bet that's him calling now.
I hope so. Will you wait? I'll see who it is.
Yes, surely.
Hello?
Mrs. Rowland?
Yes?
Are you alone?
Why, yes? Who is this?
Never mind. Just listen and don't do any more talking. It's about your husband, and it's important.
What?
Don't talk, I said. Your husband's with me. He's been kidnapped, and as soon as we can get together on the dough, we'll let him go. In the meantime, keep your mouth shut.
But he's not
I told you to keep your mouth shut. Don't say a word about this to anybody, and if you call in the police, we'll kill him.
No!
Remember what I told you, Mrs. Rowland. Now sit tight and wait for my call. I'll be in touch with you later.
Hello. Hello.
What's the matter, Mrs. Rowland? What's wrong?
My husband. He's been kidnapped. Shouldn't have done it, Mr. North. You shouldn't have asked Lieutenant Wygant to come here. They warned me not to call the police.
Well, you didn't call them. Jerry did.
If they find out, they'll kill George.
No, don't you worry about that, Mrs. Rowland. I was very careful about coming here, and I made sure that no one saw me.
Well, what's the next move, Bill? Tracing that phone call?
Oh, no, you can't trace a local call, Jerry, not after it's completed. That's why I was so anxious to know when your husband left this apartment, Mrs. Rowland.
Well, I told you as near as I could remember, Lieutenant. He left about 9:30.
And the kidnappers didn't call till about 10:30.
Which means that it took them almost an hour to get where they were going.
If they called as soon as they got there.
Well, wouldn't you? Now, if you wanted to keep Mrs. Rowland from getting anxious and going to the police about her husband, wouldn't you call as soon as you could?
Yes, I suppose so, Bill. But I still don't know what you're driving at.
Well, figure it out, Pam. The call was local. The driving time was at least a half hour more.
Uh-huh.
And with a kidnapped man in the car, they wouldn't dare risk going over any big bridges.
Well, so what does that mean?
That their hideout is probably in the Van Cortlandt area or Upper Manhattan.
That sounds like a good lead, Bill.
Well, it's only a hunch right now, but bright and early tomorrow, my men are going to check every public phone booth from Dykeman Street up.
What are you doing, Nick? Why don't you turn the light off and let the old man get some sleep?
He'll get sleep when the ransom dough is in, and so will we.
Well, what are you fiddling with those bandages for? You taking off the adhesive tape?
I'm not taking anything off. I just want to make sure he can breathe underneath the gag. You all right, Grandpa?
Sure, he's okay.
Well, he don't look so good, Beanie. Maybe that thing's choking him.
Oh, quit babying him, will you?
You shut up. You want this old guy to croak on us? Okay. I'll take it off for a while and give you a whiff of fresh air. There. That feel better, Pop?
Yes, thank you.
Maybe we ought to give him a drink of water.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Ah, look, why me?
Huh?
Why me? Why did you have to pick an old man like me? I'm sick. I've worked hard all my life, and now that I've got enough money to live on for a few years, you're going to take it away from me.
Listen to him.
I just want a little place where we can take it easy for a while and have a little fun until we die.
All right, Pop, that's enough talking.
We've sold everything we own.
He said that was enough talking.
No, I've got to tell you, because I don't care what happens to me anymore. If you take that money, there won't be anything left.
Are you going to shut up?
No, I'm going to fight you. Even if you kill me, I'm going to fight you every way I know.
Baby! You had it coming to him. Now maybe he won't talk so much.
Darling, I wish you'd tell me what you expect to gain by all this snooping around. We've been in every diner, bar room, stationery store, and soda fountain.
Now, don't be discouraged, dear. We've got to cover all the public phone booths in this uptown area.
Why? Bill Wygant has 30 policemen out doing this job.
Well, it won't hurt to have 32. Oh, don't you see, darling? There's so much territory to be covered, and there's so little time to do it in. If anything should happen to Mr. Rowland, I'd never forgive myself.
Okay, let's try the next one. Only if we keep going into all these bars, pretty soon I'm going to have a drink.
Well, not in this one, dear. It doesn't look sanitary.
Pam, he heard you.
Cleanest bar in the town, lady.
Oh,
I wash every one of these glasses with my lily white hands.
Well, we didn't mean to...
I'm not kidding you, mister. I'm a bug on killing germs. I got disinfectant all over the place.
Yes, I smell it.
It smells good, don't it? Nice and clean. I put it in the mop water all the time. Believe you me, this place here gets a good going over.
Well,
as soon as I close up at night, I chuck all them bums out of here. I wipe off the tables with ammonia, sprinkle cockroach powder in all the corners. You'd be surprised at all the dirt and filth that accumulates in just one day. And if you don't do nothing about it, well, you get mice. Now, what do you have to drink?
We don't care for anything to drink, thank you. We're looking for some information.
About a phone call that might have been made from here about 10:30 last night. Do you happen to remember if anybody walked in here and used your phone about that time?
A man with a slight accent, Greek or Italian.
Gosh, you got me, lady. At 10:30 last night, we was all watching the fights on television. Wait a second. Was this bird a short, stocky guy with black hair?
Oh, we don't know what he looks like. We just know that he speaks with an accent.
Now that you mention it, I think this guy did talk kind of funny, and he acted kind of funny, too, like he didn't want nobody to see him, you know?
No kidding. You know where we can find him?
No, I don't even know what his name is. Hey, wait a minute.
What's the matter?
That guy looking in the door. You see him? He's the one I was just telling you about.
The one who made the phone call?
Yeah, that's right.
Richard, you've got to find out who it is. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to bump into you.
That's okay.
You looking for someone, mister?
No. Are you?
Well, not exactly. Hey, where are you going?
What business is it of yours?
We're strangers around here. We thought you
Sorry,
might...
lady, I'm in a hurry.
Oh, wait a minute.
Take your hands off me, bud, or you won't have any.
Well, you don't have to get tough.
Don't I? I don't like your looks, mister. Now beat it, and beat it fast, or you'll wind up with a slug in you.
Nick should have been back by now. It don't take this long to walk down the block and put in a phone call. What's he telling that old lady?
How we want the ransom, I guess, and when to have it ready.
Even so, it don't take no 40 minutes.
Sit down, will you, Beanie? You're wearing out the floor again.
What else is there to do? Want me to play nursemaid, old man Roland?
You might go in there and see if he's okay. It was a pretty hard sock you gave him last night.
He got over it.
Yeah, he got over it. You didn't. You're just as jumpy as you ever were.
Flo, well, you can that stuff. The old man had nothing to do with it. I'm jumpy on account of you.
What did I do?
What do you always do? Sitting there with that tight dress on, blowing smoke rings in my face. I'll jump right out of my skin if you don't put your arms around me.
Don't, honey. Nick will be back in a minute.
Oh, you're a great one. You say you're nuts about me when we're alone. You say I make love to you like nobody in the world, but you still won't run out on him.
We need him, Bean.
For what? We'll net at least 15 G's from this haul, and with that kind of roll, we can go anywhere we want, baby. Just the two of us. We could burn up the whole world.
Oh, honey, if you get me started...
Oh, don't push me away, sweetie. You know you got a yen for me. And you know you're going away with me, too. Just as soon as we finish this job.
Oh, baby, if you just wouldn't lose your head all the time.
Don't worry, Flo. I'll take care of you good. Uh-oh. What took you so long, Nick? I thought you were coming right back.
I couldn't. I ran into trouble.
What kind of trouble? With the old lady?
No, I didn't call the old lady. Didn't get a chance to.
What are you talking about?
The job. The whole job. It's no good. Somebody's on to us.
Are you kidding?
Sure. I'm laughing my head off. Now get ready. Pack up some of your stuff, Flo. We're all pulling out of here.
Wait a minute. What's going on here?
Try to make a phone call on Dykeman Street. You'll find out.
Cops?
All over the place. Asking a million questions, too. In every barroom, drugstore, and soda fountain. I almost got picked up.
That don't mean nothing.
Don't be a chump, kid. They're too close for comfort. We're getting out of here.
What about the old man?
Leave him. Let him go back to his wife. I don't care where he goes as long as we get away.
Nick, you're crazy. This job is practically in the bag. All we got to do is set up...
Stop arguing, will you? You gotta beat it, I tell you.
And lose all the dough we could get from the old lady?
You'll lose a lot more if we don't get a move on. Dough ain't important to us right now.
No, huh? Well, it is to me. It's the most important thing there is, and I'm going to get it, too.
You'll get it in the neck if you don't do like I tell you. Put your head on and go on down and get the car.
I ain't leaving the old man.
Okay, then stay. Come on, Flo, you ready?
She ain't going, Nick.
Huh?
She ain't going. She's staying with me.
What did you say?
Ask her.
What's this all about, Flo? What do you mean you're staying with him?
Well, I didn't want to tell you this way, Nick. But if you're walking out on the job, maybe Beanie and me can swing it ourselves.
I'm not talking about the job, Flo. I'm talking about us.
Well?
4.5 years, Flo. 4.5 years, and you'd split up with me on account
Nick.
of... Get away from me, you lousy...
Take it easy, Nick.
Yeah, I'll take it easy, all right. I'll take it so easy.
Put that gun down.
It's okay, Flo. He just wanted to make it plain to me. Now I know you ain't going with me.
That's him, Bill. I know it is. I'd recognize that face anywhere.
Are you sure, Pam? Are you sure this is the same man you bumped into at that bar uptown? Because this picture was taken several years ago.
It's the same man, all right. Have you got a record on him?
Oh, yeah, we got a long record. His name's Hadris, Nick Hadris, alias Joe Nicholas, alias Nick Haynes.
Well, if you've got a line on him, the rest ought to be easy. We know he's in that uptown area somewhere. And if you pick him up, you can make him tell you where they're holding Mr. Rowland.
That's right, Bill. All you have to do is locate Nick Hadris.
Well, I'm afraid that's not enough, Pam. We've located Nick already.
Oh, and he won't talk?
He can't talk. By the time my men got to him, he was dead.
No.
Murdered?
Mm-hmm. They found his body on the bank of the Harlem River.
I don't know why, Lieutenant. I don't know why you can't find out where their hideout is. With all the men you've got working on this case, you'd think...
Well, now, we're doing the best we can, Mrs. Rowland. I don't know how I can make you understand that.
Bill, let me talk to her. No use talking, Mrs. North. They've done something to my husband. Something must have happened to him. Otherwise, they would have called me. Almost a whole day has gone by, and they haven't even tried to reach me.
Well, you did get that postcard this morning telling you how much money they wanted. And they asked you to draw it out of the bank and have it ready.
I know, but that postcard was mailed last night.
Mrs. Rowland, let me call the
No,
doctor.
no, please, I'm all right. It's just that I keep thinking about him. If he's warm enough, they let him rest. They give him enough food. You know, there's certain things that he can't eat. Starchy things. They just don't agree with him.
Well, I'm sure that they'll... Now, wait a second. Don't answer that phone yet, Mrs. Rowland. I want to switch on the recording machine and flash my boys on the line downstairs. Now, if that's one of the kidnappers, keep talking as long as you possibly can. We may be able to trace the call. All right, you can pick up the receiver now.
Hello?
Mrs. Rowland,
Yes?
did you get the money in small bills like we told you on the postcard?
Yes, I went to the bank this afternoon.
Okay, then get this straight. Follow these instructions and nothing will happen to your husband.
Is he all right? You haven't hurt him, have you?
Listen, I'll run a knife through his back if you don't get these orders right. Now, this is your last chance, lady.
All right. I'll do anything you say.
Okay, listen and listen careful, because I'm only going to say it once. Stick that money of yours in a shoebox and take the White Plains subway out to the end of the line. Come alone, do you hear? After you get off the subway, go 2 blocks north and 1 block west. Wait there on the corner for me. I'll drive by in a car at 2 o'clock this morning. Now, you got it?
Well...
2 o'clock sharp, end of the White Plains line. 2 blocks north, 1 block west.
But my husband, how do I know that he's... Hello?
No, it's no use, Mrs. Rowland. He's hung up.
What about the call, Bill? Was there time to trace it?
Just a minute. I'll check with the boys on the other end of this line. Hello, Eddie. That tracer come through yet? Was there time? Oh, good for you.
Have they got it, Bill? Do they know where the call came from?
Yeah, but I'm afraid it won't do us much good. This call was made from Grand Central Station. Now, look, men, this is a big job, but it's got to be done to protect Mrs. Rowland. I'm staking out this entire area around where she'll be meeting the kidnappers. Now, no cars are to be stopped, but if anybody drives past this red line on the map after 1:45, nail him. If we don't catch him going in, we'll grab him going out.
What are we going to do about the old man, Bean? He looks to me like he's getting ready to pass out.
What do I care what he's getting ready to do? As long as his old lady shows up with that dough.
You think she will?
She better, or there won't be nothing left of him. All right, come on, kid. Time to get ready.
Ready for what? It's only 12 o'clock. You don't have to meet Mrs. Rowland till 2.
Well, I'm going to change the plans around a little. Just be on the safe side in case there's cops around. She's expecting me to drive up to that corner at 2 o'clock, only I'm going to fool her. I'm going to have the car parked there instead, an hour ahead of time.
Hey, that's a pretty smart dodge.
Mm-hmm. I got another one, too. I ain't even going to be there to pick up the dough, on account of they might be expecting me.
Huh? Well, if you don't pick up the dough, how are we going to get it?
That's simple. You're going to get it for me.
we're going to get soaked waiting out here in the rain just to see what's going to happen. Did Bill tell you we could stand on this side of the street?
If we keep in close to the building, we can. We can't be seen from the corner.
Well, I hope that kidnapper shows up early. I'd like to get this over with.
So would Mrs. Rowland.
Is she there yet?
Yes, she's just coming up to the corner.
Where's Bill?
He's down the street away. If we see anything funny going on, we're to call him.
Say, there is something funny.
What?
That parked car over there. I never knew there was a woman sitting in it.
Neither did I. She must have been slumped down in the seat, or we'd have seen her.
How long do you suppose she's been there?
I don't know, but I'm going to find out.
Pam.
Hurry, Jerry. She started the motor.
Hey, wait a second. Just a minute, young lady.
What's the matter?
Well, that's what we'd like to know. How long have you been parked here?
Just a little while. I had a dizzy spell while I was driving, so I pulled over to the side to rest for a minute.
Is this your car?
Of course it's my car. Who are you? Why you ask me all these questions?
Because there's a police officer down there.
Police officer?
Hey, what are you doing?
Get away from that door!
Jerry!
Oh, brother, she almost knocked us down.
Well, don't stand there, Jerry. Get Bill's wagon.
Hey, Bill!
That car, Bill! Go after that car!
Hiya, baby. Did you get the dough?
Oh, nothing. We're hot, Beanie, red hot.
What are you talking about?
That place up there was a trap. Cops were waiting for us.
Cops? How did you get through them? How do you know they didn't tail you here?
I don't. I just drove as fast as I could and left the car right out front.
You crazy half-wit. What's the idea of leading them to me? What the devil did you come back here for?
I don't know, honey. I was scared. I wanted you to help me.
How can I help you if you bring the cops? I ought to bust you in the nose.
Beanie.
Shut up and get out of the way.
What are you doing?
Looking outside. Gotta see if we can make a break for it.
Anybody out there?
I don't see anybody. Not yet.
Hey, wait. Wait. 2 cops coming around the corner. 2 more up the street.
I told you you shouldn't have come back here.
Well, where else could I go? What could I do?
Anything at all but what you did.
Open up in there.
They got us, Beanie. They got us for good.
Not me, they ain't. I still got an ace in the hole. The old man.
Roland.
You heard me. Go on back in the kitchen. Bring him out here, quick.
Open up, I said. Open up or we'll break right through.
Get away from that door, copper. You try to bust in here and I'll kill the old man. I'll blow his head off.
You better stop.
Pam, get back here.
I'm warning you, copper, if you want the old man to live back up from that door. Get your men out of here.
Don't be crazy. You haven't got a chance.
Get him out, I tell you. Get him out or I start shooting. Flo, where are you?
Coming. We're coming.
What do you want of me? Haven't you done enough already?
Shut up.
Bill, that's Mr. Rowland.
Come on, copper. Quit stalling. Either you get your men out of here or I plug Roland. Now, which is it? Make up your mind.
Wait.
I'll wait 3 seconds. 1,
Now look.
2,
Beanie!
3.
Mr. Rollins. Okay, lady. It's Beanie that ain't so good. Good heavens, what happened?
Listen, no, she shot him. Shot him again and again.
I'll take that gun, young lady.
Go ahead. I don't need it no more.
Mr. Rowland, are you all right? Here, let me help you.
No. I just want to get out of here.
You will, Mr. Rowland. We'll all get out. Bill, is it all right if we take Mr. Rowland out to the car?
Sure. His wife must be worried sick about him.
Well, we'll see you out there, Bill.
Yeah. I just want to talk to this young lady for a minute before we go down to headquarters.
He was no good, copper. No good at all.
Is that why you killed him?
Guess it must be. Funny thing about Beanie, he could just touch me and I'd feel like I was on fire. But he was just no good. No good at all.
We're on the front page of this morning's newspaper, Jerry.
Oh, really? Does it say something about the kidnapping?
Of course. Tells the whole story, dear.
About the way we tracked down the first clue up in that bar room where we bumped into Nick?
Well, no, it doesn't say anything about that, dear.
No? Oh, I suppose it plays up the car angle, the way we found that Flo woman and tipped off the police about it.
Well, no, it doesn't say anything about that either.
Yeah, that's funny. Let me see that paper.
No, don't be disappointed, darling. After all, they had to give the police some credit.
Some credit? Well, I don't see our names mentioned at all.
Oh, we're there, darling.
Where?
Down at the bottom. See?
Oh.
After a harrowing experience which lasted some 32 hours, the victim, George P. Rowland, and his wife, Margaret, returned to their apartment at approximately 3 a.m. They were driven home by some neighbors across the hall.
Next week, more adventure of Mr. and Mrs. North, starring Alice Frost and Joseph Curtin. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Can you see anything, Jerry?
No, dear. This alley is like the inside of a pocket.
Well, I can't. Darling, there's something at my feet.
It's not something at your feet, Pam. It's someone. Someone who's dead.
Mr. and Mrs. North, starring Alice Frost and Joseph Curtin. Listen as Pam and Jerry solve the mystery, The Heavenly Body. The Café Emile is a small but fashionable supper club. Its atmosphere is French, its food is delicious, and its prices are outrageous. Yet it's a place that most New Yorkers who can possibly afford it want to visit at least once. And so tonight, Pam and Jerry are entering the Café Emile for the first time, little aware that this first visit will gladly be their last.
Bonsoir, monsieur, madame. Bonsoir.
Good evening. We have a reservation, Mr. and Mrs. Noah.
Oui, Mr. and Mrs.
Emile.
Yeah. Monsieur Zachary. Bonsoir, monsieur. Your table is ready, monsieur.
Thanks, I'll find it. And Emile, when Aunt Coleman is through with the number, tell her I want to talk to her.
Oui, monsieur. Oh, pardon, Mr. North, but your table will not be available for a few minutes. If you and madame would care to wait in the bar, monsieur, I will call you.
Oh, thank you. Come on, dear.
Jerry, did you recognize him?
Him? Oh, dear.
The man Emile just spoke to. That was Sam Zachary.
The newspaper column?
Yes. Oh, here's the cocktail lounge.
Oh, no wonder he was getting the red carpet treatment. I'll get the door, dear. Shall we sit at the bar?
Mm-hmm. Let's. Did you read his column yesterday?
Zachary's? No, why?
It was about that gang killing of that big gambler. You remember, Jerry. His name was Jack Rawlings.
But that was 2 years ago. It hardly comes under the heading of news anymore.
Except that Zachary said in his column that he'd found out the name of the person who lured Jack Rawlings out of hiding for the men who killed him.
The finger man in the case, huh?
Mm-hmm, that's right. And Sam
Will
Zachary
it be, Mr. North?
Well, hey, Pam, look who's behind the bar. Al Stacy.
How are you, Mr. North?
Oh, fine. And you?
Okay.
Pam, you remember Al, the bartender in that little place around the corner from my office?
Oh, Hello, certainly.
Well,
Hello,
I haven't
Al.
seen you in a couple of years, Al. Where have you been?
In a hospital out west.
I heard you were sick, but I didn't know it was that serious. How are you now?
Oh, I'll live. What do you folks drink?
Martinis.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Al, why don't you come...
Al, could I speak to you a minute?
Why, sure, Miss Coleman. Miss Coleman, this is Mr. and Mrs. North.
How do you do?
How do you do, Miss
Hello.
Coleman?
Monsieur North, your table is ready?
Better cancel those drinks, Al. We'll see you later.
Sure.
Happy to have met you, Miss Coleman.
We're looking forward to hearing you sing. Thank you. Al, Sam Zachary's here.
Take it easy, honey. We figured he would be.
But he wants to talk to me.
Let him talk.
I can't. Al, call Fred Benedict.
No.
Al, please, you've got
Hold it, baby. Zachary.
Hi, Miss Coleman. I guess you didn't get my message, huh?
I got it.
Look, Mr. Zachary, Miss Coleman's busy, so
It's
why
all
don't
right, Al. Go make that phone call, will you? Please.
you... Okay.
What's with you and the barkeep, Miss Coleman?
Nothing.
Too bad. Thought I might have an item for the column. Guess I'll just have to string along with this.
With what?
This. My copy for tomorrow's edition. Read it. Go on, read it.
Attention, New York police. The Jack Rawlings kill was set up by a woman who lured Rawlings to his death with a telephone call. The call was made from Jefferson 87481, a number listed to Nan Coleman, now a featured singer at the Swank Cafe Emile. You're not going to print this!
Uh-huh. Just like that. Unless you give me something better. Something like, why were you paid to finger Jack Rawlings, how much you were paid, and most important, who paid you? Was it Fred Benedict?
Leave me alone.
Come back here. Miss Coleman, come. Okay, kid. Do it the hard way.
Wait a minute, Mr. Zachary.
Well,
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Sure.
What'll it be?
It's your battle.
Mind if I turn this on?
What's that?
Miss Coleman's song piped in from the dining room. Listen. She's good. She's the best. Look, Mr. Zachary, I'd like to tell you a story.
What kind of a story?
About a guy and a gal in love.
Everybody loves a love story. Let's hear it.
Well, the guy, he's just a guy. He's nothing. He's just a bartender, hoping maybe someday he'll have a little place of his own, that's all.
You.
But the girl, well, she's really got it. Looks, a voice, everything. Everything but the break. She's singing her heart out in every crummy beer joint that'll let her go near the microphone, hoping that, well, maybe someday she'll be singing in a place like this.
So the gal's Aunt Cole. Go on.
Well, she's beginning to get there. Slow but sure, and things are starting to look rosy when, bang, the guy gets sick and he needs dough. He needs a lot of dough for 6 months, a year, maybe longer in Arizona. Otherwise, it's curtains. But, well, the guy hasn't got that kind of dough.
So the gal gets it for him, right?
That's right. She does a dirty, rotten, filthy thing, and she knows it. She runs the chance of ruining her whole life, and she knows that, too. But she gets the dough, not for herself, not 1 penny for herself, but for the guy.
So,
don't you think a gal like that deserves a break, Mr. Zachary?
Now, let me tell you a story, my friend. The story of a guy named Jack Rawlings. Rawlings wasn't a pillar of society, that's true, but it's irrelevant. He trusted a dame and wound up lying between 2 garbage cans in an alley with 6 slugs in them. Does a girl like that deserve a break? You can turn that off now.
Yeah.
Thanks for the drink. Sorry I can't use the story.
Mr. Zachary! Mr. Zachary, wait!
Well?
You don't know me, do you? I'm Mona Rawlings,
Jack Rawlings' wife?
his widow.
Okay, his widow. So what do you want?
The name of the person who called Jack that night.
Now, look, Mrs.
It
Rawlings.
was a woman, wasn't it? I know that much. Jack wouldn't have gone out to meet a man that night. Who is she, Mr. Zachary? I got something for her. Some of the same thing Jack got.
You're drunk.
Sure, I'm drunk. Been drunk for 2 years. I'm going to stay drunk until...
Listen, Mrs. Rawlings. That's a gun you've got in your handbag. I advise you to take it home and put it to bed. Then do the same thing with yourself.
Who is she?
Good night, Mrs. Rawlings.
Lieutenant Wigan speaking.
This is Sam Zachary, Lieutenant.
Well, Zachary, I've been trying to get in touch with you about that item you had in your column about Jack Rawlings.
That's what I'm calling about, Lieutenant. Can you meet me at the cafe, Emil?
Well, sure, right away. Something wrong?
Not yet. That's why I want you here. To see that things stay that way.
Pam, dear, what's the matter with you?
Jerry, I've been thinking.
You could have done that much cheaper at home, though.
Don't you want to know what I've been thinking?
At these prices, it had better be good.
Remember when we came in, Jerry? We heard Sam Zachary ask Emil to have Miss Coleman come to his table.
Well?
Then just a couple of minutes later, Miss Coleman came into the cocktail lounge, acting very nervous, wanting to talk to Al Stacy.
What are you getting at?
And then, while Emil was showing us to our table, I saw Sam Zachary go into the cocktail lounge. So I was wondering if there could be any connection between all that and the column that Zachary wrote about the Jack Rawlings murder.
Pam, dear, you're feeling your dregs.
But, Jerry,
now,
don't you...
stop imagining things and let's dance.
Dance?
Mm-hmm.
Darling, this is a rumba.
Well, I can rumba.
Now who's imagining things?
This is Miss Coleman's dressing room.
Thanks, Emil.
Not at all, monsieur.
Who is it?
Sam Zachary. Open the door. Mrs. Stacy.
What do you mean, Mrs. Stacy? Did Al tell you that...
He told me a story. I guess the rest. That's why I decided to give you another chance.
I told you to leave me alone.
I know one of Fred Benedict's torpedoes killed Rawlings.
Get out.
The police know it. The whole town knows it. But you're the only one who can prove it. So let me hear you say it, kid. Let me hear you say Fred Benedict paid me to telephone Jack Rawlings and...
Get out.
Give me that gun.
I'm warning you, Mr. Zachary. If you don't
Give
get
it
out
to me.
Let go of me.
Drop it.
Let go.
Drop it, you little fool, or I'll...
Mr. Zachary.
You crazy little...
Mr. Zachary. Mr. Zachary. Al.
Nan, what's
Al.
happened? I heard it. Sam Zachary.
I didn't mean to do it, Al.
Close the door.
It was an accident, Al. He grabbed for the gun and started twisting my arm to make me drop it, and... Al, is he dead?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, don't,
Al.
baby, don't. Please, honey, don't. Now, get a hold of yourself. Come on now. That's better. Now, look, where's the gun?
Over there on the floor.
Okay. Now, you've got another number coming up, haven't you?
Oh, yes, but I can't
You've
go
got
out.
to. You've got to go out there and act just as though nothing has happened.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to get Zachary out of here.
How?
Never mind. Now, get out there for your number before someone comes looking for you.
but Al,
please, honey, would you let me handle this, please?
All right, darling. But I want you to know you don't have to do this for me.
You did something for me once that you didn't have to do, remember? All right, now get going.
Nan,
Oh, Mr. Benedict.
I was just coming back to see you. Al called and said Sam Zachary was... What's the matter with him?
Sam Zachary's dead.
Huh?
I killed him.
What? Why, you little... Where is he?
In my dressing room. Al's in there. He's going to try to get Zachary out.
Where are you going?
To do my next number. Al made me.
He's right. All right, go on. I'll go in and see if we can clean up the mess you made.
You're not leaving already, monsieur. It is early.
Not for a working man, Emile.
Jerry. Darling, look who just came in.
Bill Wagon.
Bill, what are you doing here?
Sam Zachary, you know, the columnist asked me to meet him here. He said he'd be at the bar.
He wants to see you about the Rawlings case, doesn't he, Bill?
Now, look, Pam, don't start asking a lot of questions about something that isn't your business. Be seeing you, Bill.
Right. Take care of yourselves, you two.
Bye.
Same to you. Holy smoke, Pam. Why must you
Jerry.
always...
Look, over there at the check room.
Now, Stacy.
But this is Mr. Zachary's hat and coat.
I know. He asked you to get them for him. Now, hand them over, will you, Marie?
Well, all right, here.
Something awfully strange about that, Jerry.
There certainly is. Why should Zachary want his hat and coat when he's meeting Bill in the bar?
Look where Al Stacy's going, Jerry. Out that side door. Must lead to an alley or something.
I'm going to get Bill.
No, there isn't time. We've got to see what Al Stacy's up to. Come on.
But Pam...
Come on, darling.
Here's the door.
Open it. Leads to an alley.
A very dark alley.
Al Stacy must have gone back that way, away from the street, or we could see him.
Well, you obviously aren't going to be satisfied until we have a look, so let's get it over with.
You better close the door.
I got it. Come on.
I can't see a thing, Jerry. Can you?
If it'll make you feel better, dear. No.
Darling, this is a blind alley.
Mm-hmm. In more ways than one.
Well, then if Al Stacy didn't go out to the street, where did he...
What's the matter?
Jerry. Darling, there's something here.
Where?
Right at my feet. I almost stumbled over it.
Here's a match. Wait till I strike.
It's a man.
Sam Zachary.
Jerry, he looks like he...
He is. He's dead.
Oh, no.
Now, steady, darling. Are you all right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, look, you go in and get Bill. I'll wait here.
All right.
And leave that door open.
I will, dear.
Oh, for the last match in the...
Sorry, Mr. North.
You better save your sympathy for us, Al. Now, let's get out of here.
Get out? What about Zachary? We've got to move him out of here.
Don't be a fool. What good'll that do? The guy's seen him, so has the woman. Come on.
Look, what are we going to do?
I've got to make a phone call. No, leave the door open. You and Nan meet me in our dressing room.
Okay. Nan. Look, baby, get back to your dressing room. I'll be back there in a minute.
What about Sam Zachary?
Never mind. Just get back to your dressing room.
evening, Miss Coleman.
Who are you?
The name's Rawlings. Mona Rawlings.
Well, what do you want?
I'm looking for Sam Zachary.
He isn't here.
So I see. Where is he?
I don't know.
Well, it doesn't make much difference, because sitting here just now, I got to thinking.
Thinking what?
That you fit. You and Zachary had your heads together at the bar, then he came back here to see you. Yeah, you fit all right. Like a glove. You're just the type Jack would have trusted.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I hope you don't, because if you do, and I ever find out you do, I'll kill you. I'll kill you like they killed Jack. Like stepping on a bug, I'll kill you. Remember that.
What are you doing in here?
Al!
What's it to you, bartender?
Get out.
What are you getting so excited about?
I saw you acting up in the bar with Sam Zachary tonight, Mrs. Rawlings.
So I still want to know what you're getting so excited about. Me and Miss Coleman were just having a friendly little chat. Weren't we, Miss Coleman?
You heard me. Out.
Remember, Miss Coleman, like a bug.
Al, she suspects...
Never mind her. Listen, baby, there's something I want to tell you, so listen. Listen real hard. Mr. and Mrs. North found Sam Zachary's body out in the alley.
Oh, Al.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to... Who's there?
Benedict.
Come in.
I just called my lawyer. He's ready for trouble, but we've got to have our story straight. Now, look, here's what we're going to do.
Take it easy, Benedict. Everything's under control.
What do you mean?
I don't understand, Al.
This is the way it's going to be, honey. I killed Zachary.
You?
Zachary found out I was the one who put the finger on Jack Rawlings.
Oh, no, Al,
and I
no.
killed him, and now I'm going out to the cops and admit it.
Oh, I won't let you do
It's
that.
the only way, baby. Somebody's got to take the fall for this.
Then I'll take it. I got us into
And
this.
why? You did it for me?
Oh, well.
Okay, now I'm going to do something for you.
Just a minute, Stacy. How do I figure in on this?
Don't worry, you'll be protected.
How do I know?
I'll tell you how you know. I wouldn't walk across the street to spit on you if you were on fire, Benedict. I hate your insides. But I got to protect you to protect Nan, so just relax and enjoy the free ride. So long, honey.
No, Al. I won't let you do this. I won't.
Shut up, you fool. Let him go.
Take it easy, Benedict. Try any rough stuff with her and I'll relax, honey.
Oh, please, Al. Darling, you mustn't. Not for me. I won't let you.
You better get her out of here, Benedict.
Sure.
Al, please.
Hey, Emil.
Al, mon Dieu. Al, what is going on? Mr. Zachary is found dead in the alley. Mr. North, he's found hurt.
Yeah, I know.
And the police, they are looking for you, Al.
Well, tell them to look in your office, Emil. I'll be waiting for them in there. Oh, look, Lieutenant, I've told you I killed Sam Zachary, and I've told you why. Now, what more do you want?
The name of the man who paid you to finger Jack Rawlings.
I don't know. He didn't give me a name.
Oh, what did he look like?
Like a million guys.
Could you identify him if you saw him?
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay, Stacy, we'll continue this later downtown. Donahue, stay and keep Stacy from getting lonesome.
Okay, Lieutenant.
Where are you going, Bill?
To talk to the medical examiner. How do you feel, Jerry?
Like I had a different head for each day of the week.
That was a nasty bump you got. Look, you two go on home, will you?
Bill, do you think Al Stacy's telling the truth? About killing Sam Zachary, I mean.
Why would he lie about a thing like that, Pam?
Well, he could be trying to protect someone.
Well, he could be, I suppose.
Well, then don't
Pam,
you
dear, my head is killing me. Let's go. Good night, Bill.
I'll be in touch with you.
Darling, I wish you'd let me finish telling Bill.
You can write him a letter when we get home,
But
dear.
I think... Jerry, look. This is Nan Coleman's dressing room.
So what? Hey, Pam, what are you doing?
Darling, when we met Miss Coleman this evening, I noticed that she was wearing a gold wedding band.
Oh, what's that got to do
and
with...
Al Stacy's wearing one just like it.
You think Al Stacy and Nan Coleman are married?
Yes, dear, and to each other. And Al Stacy may be protecting... Look, the door opens.
What an unusual door. Pam, would
Miss
you...
Coleman. Miss Coleman. Darling, look over by the dressing table.
Good Lord.
What's happened to her?
She's dead. Someone stabbed her in the back.
Here's Bill, Jerry.
Well, Pam, you were right. Al Stacy was protecting someone.
Nan Coleman?
Yeah, Jerry.
And they were married, weren't they?
That's right. And Stacy says now that his wife sold Jack Rawlings to Fred Benedict.
Fred Benedict.
Well, you see, Benedict and Rawlings used to be partners. Gambling, narcotics, any other racket that'd make him a buck. But the town got too small for both of them, and with Nan Coleman's help, Benedict got Rawlings before Rawlings could get Benedict.
How's Al Stacy taking Nan Coleman's death?
Pretty hard, Jerry. If he ever gets his hands on that... Come in.
Here's a guy we thought you'd want to talk to, Lieutenant.
Oh, speak of the devil. Come in, Benedict.
What's this all about, Lieutenant?
Now, just relax, Benedict. You'll find out. You got any more celebrities out there, Donahue?
Yeah. We grabbed a dame trying to duck out the back way. Says her name's Mona Rawlings.
Mona Rawlings. Well. Yeah, we're really slumming tonight, aren't we? Send her in, too, will you?
Okay, sister. Inside.
Okay. Keep your big paws off me. I can walk without your help.
Okay, Donahue. Tell Emil we're letting him off the hook. The rest of his guests can go on home. Now, look, Lieutenant. Now, just relax, Benedict. Stacy, come in here.
Benedict.
Benedict.
Let go of it, Stacy.
Stop it, Stacy.
Get off of me.
Stop it. Will you? Stop it. Yeah, that's better. Now, sit down.
Crazy fool. What's the matter with him?
What'd you expect him to do, Benedict? Pin a medal on you for murdering his wife?
I didn't kill Nan Coleman. Why should I?
To keep her quiet.
About what?
About the fact that Al was taking the fall for her for Sam Zachary's death. We figure she wanted to talk to save Al, and you killed her.
Well, you're figuring wrong because Nan Coleman was alive when I left her dressing room. Wasn't she, Mrs. Rawlings?
How should I know?
You were standing right outside when I left. Then you went in and killed her.
No.
You've been blabbing all over town for 2 years about how you'd kill the people responsible for Jack's murder if you ever found out who they were for sure. Well, you heard Nan Coleman and me talking, so you did find out, and you killed her.
That's not true. I didn't go into the dressing room after you came out. I didn't hear anything.
Are you sure of that, Mona?
Yes.
You don't sound too sure.
Well, I am.
And so am I.
You? Pam, dear, no one asked you whether...
Please, Jerry. Bill, Mona Rawlings is telling the truth.
How do you know, Pam?
Yes, dear, how do you know?
Because Fred Benedict's still alive. Look, Bill, if Mona Rawlings had overheard Nan Coleman and Fred Benedict and knew that they were responsible for her husband's death, why would she let Fred Benedict walk right past her and kill only Nan Coleman? It doesn't make sense, Bill. If Mona Rawlings killed her to avenge her husband's death, then she would have killed Fred Benedict, too. Oh, no, Bill. Fred Benedict killed Nan Coleman.
That's a lie. You don't believe this dame, Lieutenant.
You're a gambler, Benedict. Want to bet?
Emil? Emil, this is Mrs. North. I'm sorry to bother you like this at 3 in the morning.
Don't apologize, Pam. Just tell him what we want.
What can I do for you, madame?
Well, you see, Mr. North's head was hurting so from that crack that he got that I made him lie down.
Well, madame?
Well...
Oh, for heaven's sake, Pam, give me the phone. Look, Emil, I want to go to bed. I've got to get to bed. If I don't get to bed soon, I'm going to die.
But, monsieur, are you not already in bed?
No, I'm not.
But madame said you were lying down.
But she didn't tell you where. She didn't tell anyone where.
Well, where, monsieur?
In your office.
My office, monsieur?
We're locked in the cafe. Please, Emil, can you come down and let us out?
Jerry.
I heard it, Pam.
Somebody's coming out of the Vance's apartment.
It's Mrs. Vance. Mrs. Vance!
Help me. Mr. and Mrs. North, help me. If you don't, he'll kill me, too.
Mr. and Mrs. North, starring Joseph Curtin and Alice Frost. Listen as Pam and Jerry solve the mystery, Don't Cry Wolf. There are few bonds stronger than those made of the memories of men who went to school together, went to war together, and returned to peace together. Those are the bonds that held Harold Vance to Carl Lederer. Strong bonds of many strands. Yet suddenly the bonds have snapped, for there is hatred in Vance's eyes as he glares at the man who was his friend.
You heard me, Carl. I don't want you ever to set foot in my home again.
Yeah. And you seem to mean it. But I can't believe...
Of course I mean it.
Now, look, old man, I don't know what it is that's eating you, but whatever it is...
I don't want to discuss it.
I do. Our friendship means too much to me to
Friendship? You're a fine one to talk about friendship. Now you're going to get out of here, or do I have to throw you out?
I think at least I have a right to know the reason.
You know the reason.
Tell me anyway.
Louise.
What? What about Louise?
Oh, don't act so innocent. She told me all about it.
All about what? There's nothing to tell.
Nothing to tell? I should have known without her telling. I saw things, lots of things. But you were my friend. I never imagined.
Are you trying to say I made love to your wife?
You wanted to. Tried to. Would have if she'd let you.
You're crazy.
I tell you she told me.
Then she's crazy.
And I've seen enough of myself. You're always hanging around here.
Well, naturally, you and I have been
And when I'm
friends.
not here, you've taken her out a number of times.
When you were busy, she was lonely. I thought you'd want me to...
Oh, sure. Just exactly what I'd want. My pal playing around with my wife.
Oh, really, Harold, this whole thing is ridiculous. As a matter of fact, if you want the truth, I really don't even like Louise.
Sure. When you see she won't give you a tumble.
No. I don't like what she's doing to you. You've been different ever since you met her. The trouble with
I
her...
don't need you to tell me about Louise. You don't like her, that's fine. She certainly doesn't like you. And she doesn't want you around here bothering her. So are you going to... Must be Winters. I asked him over on business. And since you and I haven't anything more to say to each other...
No, it's no use now. I can see that. Maybe some other time when you've come to your senses...
That's just it. I have. All right, I'm coming. Hello, Winters. Come in.
Yes. Oh. Good evening, Mr. Lederer. Hope I'm not interrupting.
No, I'm leaving anyway. Good night, Harold.
Hey, now what goes on with you two? You practically slammed the door in his face.
Never mind about us. What about you?
How, Bide? What about me?
What have you done with my money?
Done with it? You know. Paid your bill. Invested some of it.
In my name or yours?
What?
I have an idea you're gambling on my money.
Are you kidding?
You'll find out if I'm kidding when my lawyer gets through with you.
Lawyer? You're really serious about this.
You bet I am. And if you don't make good every penny, you'll wind up in jail, you rotten crook.
Why, you're going to take that...
Did you say I'm going to take something back? I'll take it back if I'm wrong.
You are wrong, Vance.
I hope so, but I doubt it. Anyway, we're going to have an accounting. You're going to tell me exactly what you've done with the money. Anything I don't like or I don't understand. I'm setting up an appointment with the lawyer, and you can tell him. But first, go on upstairs and do something about that nose. You're getting blood on my carpet.
Yes?
There's a Mr. Vance out here to see you, Jerry.
What's it about?
He says he's considering suing you.
Oh, well, as long as he isn't trying to sell me something. All right, Pam, tell him to come in.
Yes, Jerry.
Sue me, shoot bullets through me. Hello, Mr. Vance?
Yes.
Oh, come in.
That's a cute secretary you have out there, Mr. North.
That's no secretary. That's my wife.
Oh.
She comes down to help out once in a while. Well, now, what's this about your suing me?
Mr. North, recently some of my closest associates have, betrayed me. That's the only word for it.
Well, sue them, but why me?
That's just it. I may very well do that. And after all, if I stand up to my friends, you can't expect me to take something from a total stranger lying down, can you?
Suppose you come to the point.
Mr. North, my wife writes mystery stories.
You have my sympathy.
She sent one of them to you. The Mystery of the Missing Mink.
Missing mink? Oh, yes, I vaguely remember it.
You exactly remember it. You published it.
I did?
Only you called it How Dead Can You Get?
I do remember that. But you don't mean to tell me that's your wife's story.
It was stolen from her. She told me the plot of both stories. They're almost identical.
She told you after she read the one I published.
Are you suggesting my wife's lying?
Take it easy. You're suggesting I'm a plagiarist, so this isn't exactly a tea party. Just what is it you want?
A settlement.
And if I refuse?
You can talk to my lawyer.
We might both be spared some unpleasantness if we talk to your wife first. I assume she still has a manuscript.
Naturally.
Where do you live?
418 Whitten Avenue.
Well, that's on our way. Mrs. North and I will stop off on our way home.
Just what do you hope to prove?
I'll leave the proving to you. If you can show me that those two stories are too much alike for coincidence, you'll get your settlement.
I don't think he was very observing. He should have been able to tell by your eyes that you wouldn't.
Who should have been able to tell by my eyes that I wouldn't what, dear?
Mr. Vance, that you wouldn't do anything dishonest. You have very honest eyes, Jerry.
Oh, well, thank you, darling. Apartment 9G, this is it. I'll ring. As a matter of fact, dear, I don't think Mr. Vance noticed my eyes. He was more interested in yours. He thinks you're cute.
Oh, really?
So he said. Do you still think he's not observing?
Well, I just thought. Yes?
Mrs. Vance?
Yes.
We're Mr. and Mrs. North.
Oh, yes. Harold said you were coming. Come in, won't you?
Thank you.
He's in his study. I'll call him. But I would like to talk to you first. Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
I'm terribly sorry about this misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding?
Why, yes, about the story. I told Harold there were a few things in the two stories that were similar, but I never meant to suggest that, well, that there was any question of plagiarism.
I'm glad to hear it.
When Harold came home tonight and told me he'd been to see you, why, I felt like a fool. You see, I don't know just how to put this. He's terribly suspicious. He doesn't trust anyone.
Yes, he told me his friends are betraying him.
It's awful. He's accused his business manager of cheating him, and he's ordered Carl Lederer, his oldest friend, never to come here again.
Did he give you any reason, Mrs. Vance?
Why, he thinks... It's too ridiculous. I'd rather not discuss it.
Well, that's all right. It's really none of our business. And as long as the matter of the story is cleared up...
Yes, I think it is. I'll try to convince him. The trouble is, though, he doesn't even trust me. He keeps on spying on me as though I...
Oh, what's the matter?
I don't know. It's a pain under my heart.
Can we do anything?
No. It'll go. I've had this before. It happens sometimes when I drink. Harold brought me a cocktail a little while ago, and I guess it's a...
Yes, Mrs. Vance, what is it?
I just happened to think. It only happens when he mixes the drinks.
Good Lord, are you trying to say...
Shh, please.
What's the matter?
I told you Harold spies on me. I heard a sound out in the hall. He must be out there, listening.
I'll go see. Hello, Mr. Vance.
Oh, Mr. North. So you did come?
Yes. How long have you been out here in the hall?
What? I just came down from the study. I heard the doorbell a little while ago and thought it must be you.
But you haven't been waiting out here? You didn't hear our conversation with your wife?
No, why? Is it a secret?
No, it's just we thought we heard someone. Well, it doesn't matter. The important thing right now is your wife. She's not feeling well.
What? Louise, what is it? What's wrong?
I'll be all right.
If there's anything we can do...
No, I'll take care of her.
Well...
You'd better run along so she can rest.
We'd like to help.
I said I'll take care of it. Thanks, just the same.
She may need a doctor.
Then I'll call one. Now, will you please go?
All right. Come on, Pam. There's nothing we can do. Good night, Mrs. Vance. Mr. Vance? Good night.
Good night.
Pam?
Yes, Jerry. Jerry North, we can't just leave her like that. You heard what she implied.
Yes, but there was no use making a scene. We don't have any proof.
Well, then we'll have to get proof.
Mm-hmm.
And we better hurry before it's too late. What are we going to do, Jerry?
Well, first, let's see if there's a drugstore anywhere. Yes, there's one down the block. Come on.
What are you going to get?
Nothing. I just want to look in a phone book.
For what? Or whom?
Carl Lederer. Mrs. Vance said he's Vance's oldest friend.
Oh, that's right, Jerry. But she said Mr. Vance had a fight with him, ordered him out of the house.
Yes, and he ordered us out.
But you think Mr. Lederer may disobey the order, huh?
I think he's likely to be in a better position, too, than we are.
Oh.
After all, dear, old friends can rush in where strangers may not tread. I only hope he's in the phone book. Pam and I thought we'd better come right over here and talk to you.
I'm glad you did. In spite of our misunderstanding, Harold's been my friend too long for me to turn my back. I want to see him do anything he'll regret.
Do you really think he'd harm his wife?
What? Oh, no, of course not. But I can see how she'd think so. Very unwholesome things going on in that house, very.
Mr. Vance seems to think everyone's turned against him, and he's fighting back.
I know. Going to have to make him realize how foolish. It won't be easy. But perhaps if we all work on him together, show him how it adds up.
What do you mean?
You say he accused Stephen Winters, too.
Yes, of cheating him. Or so Mrs. Vance said.
Case of everybody out of step but Harold. Maybe he'll see it if we all show him at once. I'm going to call Winters. See if he can meet us over there.
You want us to go back with you?
No, not right away. I'd like to talk to Harold alone first. Prepare the ground. If he'll listen. I want to see how Louise is, too.
Yes. You better get started.
As soon as I call Winters. You folks say you didn't have dinner yet.
That's right. We stopped at Vance's right from the office.
Well, why don't you go ahead and eat and meet me there in an hour or so?
All right.
Oh, I hope we'll get this straightened out.
So do I. Persecution complex can be pretty serious. But if we can just make Harold see... Well, no use speculating. I gotta get on it. Now, let's see. Winter's number... Oh, yes.
Oh. It's you, Carl.
Yes, Harold, I want to talk to you.
I thought I told you to stay away from here.
I want to show you how silly you're being.
We've been all through that.
Not quite. Where's Louise?
In her room. She doesn't feel well.
May I see her?
I thought that's why you came.
It's not the way you think. I want to get you and her and Winters and the North.
What?
Is Louise up to it?
No, neither am I. I don't know what I have to do to convince you that I'm not going to listen to anything more you have to say.
I'm afraid there's nothing you can do. I'm going to talk to you.
There's one thing.
What's that?
There's...
Harold, are you out of your mind?
I'm fed up, that's all. Fed up. Everything happening at once, and you won't lay off. Well, here's where I...
What's going on in here? Stop it! Stop it, both of you! Please, stop it! Stop it!
Louise!
Carl, are you all right?
Is he all right? So that's what concerns you, Louise. Carl.
Oh, no, Harold. It's just that you're stronger.
You told me to try to make love to you, but you didn't want it.
Of course I didn't.
I wonder. Looks like there's nobody I can trust anymore.
Harold, can't you see
I think maybe I can't see at last. Now, go on. Get out of here.
But Harold,
Get out! And then I'm going to have a talk with Louise.
You know, Jerry, sometimes friends aren't the best judges.
Aren't the best judges of what, darling?
Well, friends, of course. After all, Jerry, what else could friends be of?
I don't know. You have me a little confused. So friends aren't the best judges of friends. Oh, here we are, dear. 9th floor.
Like Mr. Lederer, for instance. He can't believe that Mr. Vance would try to poison Mrs. Vance because he likes Mr. Vance. Oh, whereas I can very well believe it.
Because you don't like Mr. Vance.
Well, he accused you. I don't like that.
Which doesn't make him a wife.
Jerry.
I heard it.
Somebody's coming out of the Vance's apartment.
It's Mrs. Vance. Mrs. Vance!
Help me! He tried to kill me, too. Don't let him.
What?
She's pointing back to the apartment. Jerry, you better go and see what's wrong.
Right.
I'll try to quiet her.
Oh, hello. Who are you?
Stephen Winters. And you must be Mr. North.
Yes.
Lederer phoned. Asked me to come here, Mr. North. Said you'd be here, too.
Is Lederer here?
Well, I haven't seen him. I just got here. The door was open, so I walked in, and then I saw that.
What? Good Lord. It's Vance.
Yes. And he's dead.
Yes, Bill, that's right. Apartment 9G. Yeah, we'll wait. So long. The police will be right over, Mr. Winters.
Good.
Hey, Pam, where's Mrs. Vance? I thought you were going to stay with her.
She broke away, Jerry, so I came in.
Broke away?
Yes, she seemed terrified. She said that Mr. Winters killed her husband and he'd kill her, too.
Why, she must be crazy.
Just what did happen, Winters?
I don't know. I told you the door was open, so I walked in and found Vance lying there.
Did you touch anything?
I didn't have time. Just took a quick look at him, and when I heard a sound, turned, and there was Mrs. Vance staring at me. And when I turned, she screamed and ran out. You know the rest.
Yeah. Where'd you go, Pam?
She ran to the elevator. Before I realized what was happening, the door was closing. And there's only one elevator, so I couldn't catch her.
Oh, we better try to find her.
Well, you're not taking her fantastic story that I killed Vance seriously, are you?
Not necessarily. But I'd like to talk to her as soon as possible. And I know the police will want to. So Pam and I'll go see if we can find her. You wait here, Winters.
All right. But you can't believe... look. She must have come into the room and saw her husband lying dead and me standing over him. So, naturally, she assumed that I'd killed him. But that doesn't mean...
I know, Winters. It doesn't mean you actually did kill him. So stop worrying, will you? All right, Pam, let's go.
Do you see her, Jerry?
No.
Maybe she just went for a policeman.
Well, in that case, she should be coming back with him pretty soon. Hey, wait a minute. There she is.
Where?
Down at the corner. She just signaled for a taxi, but it didn't stop.
Oh, yes.
I hope she's calmed down a little so she'll answer questions.
She seemed pretty positive that Mr. Winters is the murderer.
Well, Uh-oh. She sees us.
Jerry, she's running across the street.
Yeah. Mrs. Vance, wait!
She won't stop. She must think that we're going to take her to Mr. Winters.
There she goes into an alley. I'll try to catch her. Mrs. Vance, wait. I just want to talk to you.
Don't come near me.
I'm not going to hurt you.
No, you stay away.
All right, I don't want to frighten you, but why don't you come to me? I won't hurt you.
No.
You can't get away. The alley's a dead end. All I want to do is...
Can't you leave me alone?
I want to talk to you.
No.
I won't take you back to Winters if that's what you're afraid of. Not until the police get here.
You promise?
I promise.
Well, all right. But you can see why I'm so afraid. I saw him kill Harold.
Did you see the
Why,
actual killing?
Yes.
You're sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Didn't you just see your husband on the floor and Winters standing over him? And so you just assumed from that...
No. I didn't just assume. I saw, I tell you, I saw, I really
Just
did.
exactly what did you see?
I saw Mr. Winters arguing with Harold. I saw him grab a paper knife from the desk and stab Harold with it. I saw Harold fall.
Winters did that with you looking on?
He didn't know I was there. I'd been out. I just came in. He didn't see me until I screamed.
I see.
He didn't see.
Well, you don't have to worry about Winters. When the police come, just tell them what happened and they'll arrest him.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Now, come on. We'll go out to the street.
No, stop.
What's the matter now?
You let go of me.
I only took your arm.
No, stop!
Mrs. Vance, what on earth is wrong?
Jerry, what's happening?
I don't know, Pam. Oh, hello, Mr. Letterer.
Hello, North. Louise, what's wrong?
Oh, Carl. He drove. It was just awful, Carl.
What's the matter with her, Jerry?
I wish I knew. Where did Mr. Letterer come from?
Well, he drove up just after you ran in here. I was talking to him. That's why I didn't follow right away.
Louise, stop crying. Tell me, what's the matter?
Mr. North tried to kill me.
I hardly touched you, Mrs. Vance.
Well, you tried to kill me. Carl, look at my arm. There must be bruises on it where he grabbed me.
I don't see anything.
You don't believe me, do you?
I know you like to imagine things, Louise.
Why, you're on his side. I should have known.
Mrs. Vance, I know that Jerry
Well, you're all on his side. You're all against me. Everybody's against
No,
me.
Mrs. Vance.
Mrs. North, you're a woman. Won't you please help me?
What do you want?
Why, I've got to get to the street. They've got me cornered in here.
I'm sure they'll let you
don't know. You don't know. They want to kill me. I know they do. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get away.
Well,
Please.
Louise, where do you
No,
think you're
let me
going?
go. Stop. I've got to
You've
get out
got
of
to come
here.
to your senses.
Letterer, maybe you better let her go.
Well, she's out
Let
of
me
her head.
go.
We can't let her run the streets like
Please
this.
let me
Now,
go.
Louise, stop it.
No.
What did you do to her?
Nothing. She fainted. Come on, Mr. North. Help me carry her back to the apartment.
Oh. What happened to her?
Fainted. Come on, North. Over to the sofa.
Right. Police didn't get here yet, Winters.
No, not yet.
All right, there we are. Let her. She'll be all right there. But you better call the doctor.
Yeah. I knew she was unbalanced, but I had no idea it would go this far.
Well, at least a few things begin to make sense at last. When you mentioned persecution complex, you were talking about Mrs. Vance, not her husband.
That's right. She told him I was trying to make love to her, that you had stolen her story, and that Winters had cheated him in business.
And he was so in love with her that he believed her.
That's it, Winters. She drove him frantic, till he hardly knew what he was doing. I tried to make him see the truth, but he didn't want to.
But she was even suspicious of him. She accused him of spying and of trying to poison her.
I know. That's why I wanted to talk to him tonight. Thought maybe with that I could open his eyes. But he wouldn't listen, started to fight. Ordered me out of the house again. I was coming back for one more try when I met you. Well, I'd better get that doctor.
What happened outside, Mr. North?
She went completely berserk. Claimed you killed her husband and tried to kill her. Then she claimed I tried to kill her. Then everyone was trying to kill her.
Poor Louise.
Yes, it's pretty awful. Still, it's not too surprising
What do you mean, not too surprising, Pam?
that some of it's true.
Some of what's true, darling?
What she said, of course.
Oh? Is it?
Is it what, Jerry?
I don't know. What are we talking about all of a sudden?
About Mrs. Vance. And that she made so many accusations, it's not too surprising that some of them turned out to be true. It's a law of averages.
Oh. Well, just what part of her accusations do you think were true, Mrs. North?
The part where she accused you of the murder, Mr. Winters.
What? You... Oh. Oh, you're joking, of course.
No, I'm not. And since she was right about that, she was probably also right when she said that you were misusing her husband's money. That's probably why you killed him, because he demanded an accounting.
You're as crazy as she is.
Oh, no, Mr. Winters. You told us that the door was open when you arrived, and that you just walked in, looked at the body, and before you could do a thing, Mrs. Vance screamed and ran out.
Well, that's right.
But that whole thing wouldn't take 30 seconds from the time you got out of the elevator.
Well, what of it?
Jerry and I had already gotten off the elevator when Mrs. Vance screamed. And there's only one elevator in the building. So it had to go all the way down, stop, doors open and close, and bring us all the way up. And this is the 9th floor.
She's right, Mr. Winters. You were up here a lot longer than you said you were. And there's no use looking for a way out of here now. The only way is the front door, and it sounds like the police are there right now.
Finished reading your new book.
Oh, like it, darling?
Oh, yes, very much. There's just one thing about it, though.
Oh, what's that?
Can't help thinking I read something very much like it before.
Pam, don't you start that.
Good night, Jerry.
This is the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
No, don't try to sneak open the door, Pam. Look through the keyhole.
That's what I did.
What'd you see?
An eye.
A human eye?
Well, I hope it was human. Because if I saw it must have seen me.
Mr. and Mrs. North, starring Alice Frost and Joseph Curtin. Listen as Pam and Jerry solve the mystery, Murder Mismanaged. The man in the unpressed suit is still a little unsteady as he rises heavily from his bed and consults a mirror on the bedroom wall. It's almost noon. The effects of a late night spent at a neighborhood bar have lingered into the morning after, leaving him with a pair of red-rimmed eyes and a handful of shaky fingers.
Sally? Sally, what time is it?
Oh, you up, Arnold?
Yeah, I'm up. What'd you think I was doing in here, walking in my sleep? A cup of coffee in the house?
Yes, Arnold. I'll get it for you.
Make it snappy, will you? I gotta throw some water on my face, get down to the store. I'm late.
Maybe you better not go to the store today. I mean, looking the way you do, maybe you better stay home.
Sure. Just take the day off. Just like that. The old man would have a fit.
Arnold.
Well, wouldn't he? You don't have to stick up for him because he's your father. I know what a cheapskate he is.
Darling, I don't want to argue with you about father.
Well, then tell him to quit saying he's supporting me. Tell him to quit saying I married you for your money.
Why did you marry me, Arnold?
For the same reason you married me. Because you loved me. You thought it would work out. Only you didn't know I'd never amount to anything.
Honey, I still love you. And I still think it can work out. If you just stop drinking so much and try to make a fresh
Honey,
start...
will you stop it? I gotta get down to the store.
No, wait.
I gotta get down there, I tell you.
Arnold, please, don't go to the store today. Stay with me.
You crazy?
Stay with me, Arnold. You've got to. My father doesn't want you to work for him anymore.
Doesn't want me... He told you that?
Well, he thinks you'd be better off in another kind of job. After all, a jewelry store is not
Sure. A jewelry store is risky business. With all those diamonds lying around, you got to be careful who's working for you.
He didn't say that.
I don't care what he said. That's what he means. He doesn't trust me no more. Thinks I'm stealing from him.
Arnold, listen.
So what? Now, let go of my arm, will you? I'm going down that store
No,
and
please, you'll have a fight.
All right, then I'll have a fight. Now, let go of me.
Arnold, you're not going down there.
Let go of me, I said.
Honey, you hurt me.
All right. I'm sorry. Next time, don't get in my way.
One 1410.
Hayden's jewelry store?
Yes, this is Mr. Hayden speaking.
Oh, Mr. Hayden, this is Mrs. North. I'm calling about my husband's watch. I left it with your son-in-law the other day, and he didn't seem to know when it'd be ready.
Why, it's ready right now, Mrs. North. You can pick it up any time you like.
Well, Mr. North and I'll be over a little later on. Thank you, Mr. Hayden.
You're quite welcome. Yes, Oh, it's you.
Hello, Pop. Surprised to see me?
Surprised isn't the right word, Arnold.
What is?
Well, I don't see any reason why we have to have an argument about it. Didn't Sally tell you I don't want you to work for me anymore?
Yeah, she told me.
Then why did you come down here?
I want to find out what's behind it. What's the real reason you're firing me, Mr. Hayden? I want to know the truth.
The truth is very simple. I can't stand the sight of you, Arnold. Never could. And when I think of what you've done to my daughter's life and mine, it makes me sick inside.
Is that all?
No, there's more. I'm going to take Sally away from you, Arnold, if it's the last thing I do. I'm going to take her away and put you where you belong, behind bars.
I thought you'd be coming to that.
And I thought you could be trusted. Until I realized you were a thief, a common, ordinary thief.
Keep your mouth shut! Another crack like that and I'll forget how old you are.
Slapping me won't do any good, Arnold. When I've got the proof, I'm going to the police.
You're not going to do nothing of the kind. And if I catch you calling up the police... We'll finish this later on, Pop. Somebody just came in the store.
No. Can I help you, sir?
Well, maybe you can, mister. I'm looking for a ring.
For yourself or for it? What are you doing?
Stay where you are, Grandpa. This is a stick-up.
What?
You too, mister. Don't move. I've got you covered.
I'm not moving.
All right, then keep your trap shut. Do like I tell you. These trays over here. Get them out. Come on. Hurry it up. You help him, Grandpa, and keep your hands away from that burglar alarm. I'm not fooling.
I didn't think you were.
Okay, trays on the case and turn around. Turn around, I said.
That's what I'm doing.
Hey, you! Pop, look out!
Where are you going, Pam? The jewelry store's over here.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking we were on 6th Avenue.
Now, don't tell me you gave my watch to the wrong place.
Oh, no. This is right, dear. I spoke to Mr. Hayden about an hour ago.
Only what?
For goodness sake, look at the crowd, Jerry.
Hey, something must have happened inside the store. There's a policeman outside.
Keep moving, please. Move right along.
Golly, somebody must have been hurt. Excuse me, please. Excuse me.
Just a minute, lady. You can't go in there.
Oh, but we have to. My husband has a watch in there, and Mr. Hayden's a very special friend of ours.
Oh, my orders.
Thank you, officer. We won't be in the way. Come on, Jerry.
All right, dear. All right. Give me a chance. We shouldn't have come in here anyway. Mr. Hayden's been hurt.
Ask the doctor what happened to him.
Hey.
Go ahead, Jerry. They're just standing there.
Darling, will you stop pushing? I'll ask Mr. Hayden's son-in-law. What happened, Mr. Anson?
Huh?
What happened?
Oh, I didn't recognize you, Mr. North. We had a robbery in here, and I'm still kind of shaky about it. The old man was almost shot.
Good heavens, how?
Oh, he got rattled, tried to set off the burglar alarm, so the stick-up man hit him with a gun. Yeah, he knocked him cold.
What a shame.
Yeah, I may have to take him to the hospital.
I don't think that will be necessary, Arnold.
Mr. Hayden, are you all right?
I am now. The doctor says I can go home if I want to.
Well, maybe you better get right into bed. You stay here, Pop. I'll get the car and we'll both go home together.
No,
It won't take a minute. I'll be right back.
Mr. North, don't let him take me home. I don't want to be alone with him.
Why? What's the matter, Mr. Hayden?
I'm afraid of what he might do to me. He's tried to kill me already.
What do you mean?
My head, this blow I got. It wasn't from the stick-up man. It was Arnold who hit me.
Hello?
Hello, honey. This is me.
Arnold, where are you? I've been worried about you all day. Why haven't you called me?
Well, I would have, baby, only we had a little trouble down at the store.
Trouble? With Father?
No, not that kind of trouble. Somebody robbed the place.
Oh, no.
Yeah, hold up, man. He got away with 3 trays.
He didn't hurt anybody, did he?
Well, your old man got pushed around a little, but he's okay now. A couple of friends of his, Mr. and Mrs. North, are driving him home.
And where are you?
Well, I stopped off for a little drink, honey.
Oh, Arnold, please, come home, darling.
Oh, now, don't you worry about me, baby. I'm turning over a new leaf.
Honey.
New leaf, I tell you. For a while there, I thought your old man wasn't going to let me, but after what happened today, everything's going to be fine. Fine and dandy.
I'm so glad you could drive me home, Mr. North. I needed this chance to talk to you.
Well, if you think Arnold was the one who hit you, Mr. Hayden.
It's the truth, I tell you. For months now, Arnold's been stealing from the store, substituting cheap imitations for valuable diamond rings.
You're joking.
He's a thief, Mrs. North. And this robbery today was a deliberate attempt to cover it up.
You mean he wanted the store robbed?
Wanted it and made it possible for the hold-up man to do the job.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Mr. Hayden. That's a pretty broad statement.
It's not a statement, Mr. North. It's the only explanation for what happened. And if he's gone this far, he'll go the rest of the way. He'll kill me.
He won't do anything if you can prove what you just told us.
But I can't prove it. Now that the jewels are gone, it's my word against his.
Well, we'll see what we can do, Mr. Hayden. In the meantime, just be careful. And keep away from Arnold.
Hello, Pop.
Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold. What took you so long to get home? You left the store before I did.
Well, I had a long talk with Mr. and Mrs. North. And then I stopped off to see Sally at your apartment.
What about?
About you. And what happened this afternoon?
That's what I thought. You're doing everything you can to turn her against me, ain't you?
Am I? I don't think she needs any help from me. She knows it all now.
Knows what? What you tell her?
The truth about you and what happened today.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You now stay where you are, Arnold. I'm ready for you this time. I have a gun.
I don't care what you got. You're not going to blame me for something I didn't do.
But you did hit me, Arnold. And you were stealing from the store. And I can prove it.
You're crazy. How could you prove a thing like that?
By the man who held up the store. I have his name right here on this piece of paper. His name and his address. And
Give me that.
Look out, Arnold. This gun is loaded.
All right, then go ahead and use it. Go ahead. Shoot me.
I will if you come any nearer.
Oh, no, you won't.
Arnold.
Drop that gun. Drop it before... Mr. Hayden.
Well, come right in, Lieutenant Wygand. It's nice to see you.
Oh, hello, Jerry. You waiting for me?
Almost an hour, Bill. Don't you ever come back to your office?
Not when there's work to be done. Now, what's on your mind?
Well, I don't suppose this is exactly your line, Bill, but you might be able to help us out.
Out of what?
Well, it could be murder eventually. But right now, it's only the threat of it.
With whom?
A man by the name of Hayden. He's a jeweler, Bill, and his son-in-law is thinking of killing him.
Are you kidding?
No. Why?
Well, I just came from Hayden's apartment. His son-in-law shot him in the shoulder.
Shot him?
When was this?
Oh, about 3/4 of an hour ago. It was just a flesh wound.
Well, that's enough, isn't it? This afternoon, he robbed Mr. Hayden's store and hit him over the head with a candle holder.
Yes, Mr. Hayden was telling me.
Well, you're going to do something about it, aren't you? I mean, a guy like that should be put away.
He was put away, Jerry.
You arrested him?
No, we didn't have to. He was dead.
Arnold? Mr. Hayden's son-in-law?
That's right, Pam. We found his body in a dark alley about 2 blocks from where he lived. Somebody shot him.
This way, Jerry. The policeman said we'd find Arnold's apartment at the end of the hall.
Well, I don't know why we came here, dear, or what you expect to prove.
I don't expect to prove anything, dear. I'd just like to know a little bit more about Mr. Hayden's daughter.
But she isn't home. The police haven't been able to find her.
Well, and maybe we'll find something that'll help us find her.
What?
Never mind, darling. Just try the door. The policeman said they left it open.
They did. Only I feel awful funny about barging in here.
Why? Bill told us it was all right. I'll bet anything he'd like us to get him a good lead on this case.
Then why don't we go see Mr. Hayden instead of fooling around here? After all...
Wait a second. That's the phone, Jerry.
Well, what are you going to do?
Answer it, of course.
Hey, Pam.
Hello?
Hello, Sally.
Yes.
I gotta see you right away.
Who is this?
Me, Manny. I've been laying low, like you told me. Only I didn't expect no double cross.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. What's the idea of sending your husband around to see me?
Arnold?
Who else? How many husbands you got?
Well, I don't understand.
In a pig's eye, you don't understand. He had my name and address on a little piece of paper. You know what he threatened to do?
What?
Tell the cops. He said I was in this just as much as he was, and if I made one move, he'd squawk.
Pam, who is it?
Shh.
What's the idea, Sally? What are you trying to pull?
Nothing.
Well, you've got a lot of explaining to do. You better do it fast. Look, I'll meet you over at my place in about an hour, just as soon as I make sure it's safe.
Where do you live?
Oh, you know where I live, on the 2nd floor over Mulroy's bar. Now be there.
Okay, Manny, I'll be there. See you later.
Yeah.
Now, what did you get yourself into?
Oh, well, nothing yet. But as soon as we find out where Mulroy's bar is, we're going over to Manny's place. Only we're going a little earlier than he expects us.
Who in the world is Manny?
Oh, I haven't the faintest idea, Jerry. But that's what we're going to find out. Quiet now, Jerry. We mustn't let anyone know we're here.
Well, where are we? I don't see any apartments on this floor.
Shh. This door right here. And if I'm not mistaken... Yes, it is.
What is? Is what?
Manny's place. His name's on the card.
Yeah, take it easy. There may be somebody in there.
Well, there shouldn't be.
But there is.
Who's there? Jerry, it's Mr. Hayden's daughter. What? Sally, what are you doing here?
Why, I was waiting for someone. I had a message to meet somebody here.
Who?
Well, I don't know what his name is, but...
Sally, I think you'd better tell us the truth. The police are looking for you.
Yes, I know. I've been hiding from them. I suppose it's wrong, but there's something I've got to find out before I tell them.
Tell them what? About Arnold?
About everything. I've got to tell somebody. I'll go out of my mind if I don't. There's nobody I can turn to.
Is it because you killed him?
No! I didn't kill him. I tried to help Arnold, but everything turned out so badly. And then when I saw my father tonight, when you dropped him off in my apartment, I made a terrible mistake.
In what way?
I told him about Manny.
The one who lives here?
Yes, I never should have talked. If I hadn't said anything, Arnold might still be alive. But my father kept pounding at me, so hammering at me. As soon as he walked in the door, he accused Arnold of being a thief. He said he had proof that Arnold had struck him, that the whole robbery...
Eyes, I tell you. He struck me when I reached for the burglar alarm. And what's more, he planned to do it. Planned the whole thing with that stick-up man.
Father, it's not so. You're always against Arnold, no matter what he does.
Oh, Sally, how can you defend this man? How can you go on protecting him when he treats you the way he does? There isn't an ounce of decency in him.
I love him, Father. And he loves me.
Does he? Is that why you stick to him? Well, then maybe you'd better know the truth. Maybe you'd better know what he does when he doesn't come home to you.
Father.
He's no good, Sally. For 3 weeks, I hired a private detective to follow him wherever he went. And every time he didn't come home, he was out with another woman.
That's a lie.
That's a matter of record, Sally. I have the names and addresses of every one of the women he went out with. And some of them he gave presents to. Expensive jewelry that he probably stole from my store.
Then it's true. He doesn't even love me.
Not what I call love. I'm sorry, darling. I thought I could spare you this, but...
Father, I would have known sooner or later, and I'm glad you told me. But you're wrong about Arnold at the store today.
Wrong?
He might have struck you to cover up the fact that he'd been stealing. But he had nothing to do with the holdup.
How do you know?
I know. Because I was trying to cover up for him, too. I hired that hold-up man myself. That was the mistake I made. I never should have told him. I never should have given him Manny's name.
Manny is the man who held up the store?
Yes, I hired him because I thought it would help my husband.
Well, then he might have killed Arnold. When I spoke to him on the phone, he said your husband had been over here.
That's what I wanted to find out. If Arnold knew him, if Arnold had been to see him.
See who?
Manny.
What's going on here, Sally? Who are your friends?
We're Mr. and Mrs. North, Manny. And before you reach for that gun of yours, I might as well warn you that the police know we're here.
What else do they know?
Enough to want to see you down at headquarters. I think it would be a good idea if Sally had a chance to identify you.
And I think it'd be a good idea the three of you took a trip to the morgue. On a stretcher.
That'll make a lot of noise.
It'll make a lot more noise if I give you a chance to open your mouths.
Why? What have we got on you, Manny?
Nothing, sister. You ain't gonna get nothing, neither. Now stand up. All of you. Face the wall.
What's the idea?
Face the wall, I said.
Manny, please don't shoot.
Who's gonna shoot? I'm gonna beat it, Sally, and I ain't ever coming back.
Oh, now don't be upset, Jerry. I know you couldn't help letting Manny get away last night. I'm just glad you didn't get hurt.
Well, we might have if we tried to hold him. Hey, where are you taking us, Bill?
Oh, in here for a while. It's a lineup. We had the net out this morning, and it's just possible we picked up your friend Manny.
He's not our friend.
Well, if you see him, just let me know. All right, Sergeant.
Yes, sir. Come on, you guys. Stand up straight. When you hit the light, face front. I'll tell you when you can go.
Holy mackerel. Where in the world did you find these guys?
No, Manny?
Not yet.
Try the next bunch, Sarge.
Right. Come on now. Keep moving. Move along.
He's a short man, Billy. Short and stocky.
You see him?
Not yet.
Hey, wait a minute, Pam. Isn't that him, the second one from the left?
Golly, I don't know, Jerry. We only saw him for a minute last night.
That's him, all right. Look how he's trying to hide.
Hey, you. No, you. That's right. Say something.
I didn't do nothing, Lieutenant. I just blew in from Cleveland.
That's right, Jerry. That's him.
No, it's not.
That's enough, Manny. Come on down here.
But I tell you, I didn't...
That's enough, I said. You think Mr. and Mrs. North are lying? I've got some other people down here to identify you. Come on in, Mr. Hayden.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
You recognize this man?
Which one?
Well, this one over here, Manny. Isn't this the guy who held up your store yesterday?
Why, no. I've never seen this man before in my life.
He's lying, Bill. He's lying to protect his daughter. That's why she won't say anything either.
But why? How can Hayden protect his daughter by saying that this Manny guy didn't rob the store?
Well, that makes sense. If he denies that Manny robbed the store, it's the same as saying that somebody else robbed it. Somebody who hasn't been found yet. Somebody who'll never be found and who'll never be able to testify.
Oh, I see. Hayden's convinced that Manny's testimony will convict his daughter. And since she had a good motive for the murder, her father's willing to commit perjury to protect her.
But how is her father so sure that Sally's guilty? How does he know that Manny didn't kill Arnold?
I'll tell you how he knows. He knows because he killed Arnold himself.
Mr. Hayden?
Well, he must have, Jerry. I hate to say it, but it's the only logical answer.
Hayden killed Arnold? But
For what reason?
Oh, for any number of reasons, Bill. Because of what Arnold was doing to his daughter. Because Arnold had ruined her life, and she was still in love with him. There was no other way to get rid of him.
Then Mr. Hayden wasn't protecting his daughter. When he refused to identify Manny, he was protecting himself.
Was he? Only the murderer could have known that Manny wasn't guilty, and only the murderer would have refused to identify him.
Oh, fine. But how am I going to prove it? You know, you two are just talking in the air.
No, they're not, Lieutenant. They're telling you the truth.
What? Well, how careful what you say, Mr. Hayden. This can be held against you.
It doesn't matter. I've written you a full confession.
Why? What made you change your mind?
I knew you'd have broken me down sooner or later. I'd have broken myself down. A man like me can't live with murder in his heart. I'm too old and too tired to have resisted you. I realized that as soon as I lied to you this morning.
Mr. Hayden,
No, let me go on now. I made a great mistake, and I'm willing to pay for it. That's why I'm giving myself up.
You killed Arnold?
Yes, I killed him. Last night, after he left my apartment, I followed him and shot him. Because his life was taking 2 of ours. But that wasn't my mistake, Lieutenant. My mistake was not killing him sooner.
Pam! Oh, Pam, I've got to be at the office early this morning. What time is it?
It's 8:30 in here, darling. Oh, what time is it in there?
Well, that's why I asked, dear. The kitchen says 9 o'clock, and the living room says 7:30.
Well, that's about right.
What's about right? How is it we've got 7 clocks in this house and nobody can ever tell the right time?
Don't say nobody, dear. I can always tell the right time.
How?
Well, first of all, I look at my watch, if I can find it. And if I can't, I know it stopped anyway, because I must have forgotten to wind it.
Then?
Then I take 10 minutes off the kitchen clock, add 10 minutes to the living room, and average them out, unless the current's been turned off, because they're electric.
But how do you tell the time?
Well, if those two systems don't work, I have one way that never fails.
What's that?
I call downstairs and ask the doorman.
The adventures of Mr. and Mrs. North are brought to you through the facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.